I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon.
It's Saturday, November 7th. It's perfectly calm this morning, about 45 degrees. It's gonna be really easy to hear deer coming with the dry leaves this morning. But it's also gonna be very difficult to get away with any movement or making any noise. I actually kicked a bunch of deer out of here on my way down in. But hopefully we can still have some luck this morning.
After having several deer cross below me in the thick brush in the morning, I decided to try a different stand for the evening hunt. By the time I got everything set up, a young deer was already right in front of my stand. Before long, a mature doe showed up, but it was nearly 100 yards away. Just when I thought the hunt was over, I heard deer running towards me and a buck grunting.
Well, I ended up seeing about 15, 16 deer today. And boy, I'll tell you what, even though it was just 2 spikes, that sure felt good to at least see some rut activity after sitting in this stand all day. I think my camera work was pretty rough because at first I didn't know if either of them were illegal bucks, so I was trying to figure that out, but that was pretty cool. It's Tuesday, November 10th. It's about 50 degrees this morning. It's really calm. It's supposed to warm up really fast though. The high is 75. I actually saw one of our hit list bucks last night when I was taking out the garbage. It didn't look like he had a doe with him, so I think there's definitely still some bucks cruising looking for does. I think a lot of them might be in the lockdown phase right now, but still hopeful that we'll get a shot at a decent buck.
Once again, I heard deer running my direction, and my hopes were high that this would be a bigger buck. It was definitely bigger than a spike, but still not quite what I'm after.
That was pretty cool. About an hour ago we had that young buck chase a doe right behind me. I barely got him on film because it was directly behind me and through a bunch of brush, but one thing I'm noticing is every single deer that I'm seeing down here is going within bow range of a solo hemlock tree up on that hillside over there. So I think I'm gonna make the move right now. It's starting to warm up. I'm thinking a lot of deer are probably bedding down right now. I think I'm gonna move my stand up around that hemlock tree somewhere and see if I can have better luck up there.
After moving the stand, I decided to try it out the next morning, and a young buck was there before I could finish setting up.
It's Thursday, November 12th. I'm set up down in the bottom again, but I'm now in that tree over here where I said that all those deer kept going. I already had that spike come in on me while I was trying to set up. When I first saw him through the tree limbs, I just saw some antler and I started freaking out. I thought it might have been a shooter. And of course I knocked my glove off my stand while I was trying to get the camera on him. But luckily it was just a young one there because I was not about to get a shot off. So I had to climb back down the ladder and get my glove. But I'm all set up now. Pretty excited with that movement already there. So, should be a good day.
Unfortunately, that was the only deer that showed up. But with the red activity I saw this week, I was going into the final week of archery with high hopes.
It's Saturday, November 14th, and we're finally hunting a cold front. It's about 28 degrees this morning. The deer should be on their feet. We're definitely hunting the big rut right now. Got about a week left. I think next Friday is the last day. We have an extra week this year. We'll see if we can get it done today.
When I saw this big flock of turkeys, I was hopeful that I could fill my fall turkey tag. But instead of walking past my stand, they crossed about 75 yards above me. As soon as the turkeys were out of sight, I heard a deer running my way. I couldn't get the camera to focus on it, but it was a nice buck. I thought I was going to get a shot, but then he stopped and ran back the other way.
Finally, a good buck was coming in. 75 yards, he smelled me, no problem. I guess mature bucks don't get mature by being stupid.
Tuesday morning brought heavy snow, and I thought that would get the deer on their feet. but after sitting all morning, I didn't see any deer. On Wednesday, I used a climbing stand to try out a new spot. I sat all day, and once again, I didn't see any deer.
It's Thursday, November 19th. Tomorrow's the last day of archery season. I haven't hunted this stand in over a month, but the trail camera I've set up down there showing that a lot of mature does are hitting this field before dark. So I decided I'm going to try to fill another doe tag before the end of archery, or maybe if I get lucky, there'll be a buck following them up tonight.
I was watching this spike feeding in the field, and I didn't even realize there was a mature doe at 20 yards walking right towards my shooting lane. By the time I got my camera repositioned and grabbed my bow, it was too late.
It's Saturday, November 20th, the last day of archery season here in Pennsylvania. I want to try to sit out the rest of the day. It's really windy, but it's not too cold. I'm sitting here in a spot where bucks like to cruise back and forth. Haven't had much luck here this year, but you never know. My standards are pretty low for bucks right now. I'd probably take a decent 2.5-year-old buck. Or a good doe would be good too. I'd like to just fill another tag at this point. I think I'm going to sit in this spot until 2 or 2:30, and then I'm going to go back to that stand I was in last night when that big doe caught me drawing back. I don't know if he'll come back out after just catching me like that last night, but I think she was the only one that saw me. So a different one could come up, you never know. But that's the plan. Hopefully we can make it work.
With no deer sightings in the first spot, I made the move to my evening stand. With a couple hours of shooting light left, a young deer was heading into the food plot. Unfortunately, this was the only deer to show up. And just like that, the sun has set on the 2020 archery season. I definitely had some missed opportunities, but overall, it went fairly well for my first season of self-filming. With only filling one tag, I've got some ground to make up, so hopefully in rifle season, I can put some more deer on the ground.